So, Anand, what do you make of the Australian approach, especially after tea? Because some of us probably expected the Australians to put the Indians in for a few overs at least before the end of day 4. That didn't happen. What do you make of the way the Australians approached their innings?
I think Australia would have certainly liked to have had the chance to bowl maybe 7 or 8 overs at India towards the end of the 4th day. It would have given Mitchell Johnson a chance to have a crack at India's batsmen for about 4 overs and still keep the ball new enough that when they come back on the final day, it's like having a second bite of the same cherry. But that wasn't possible, and that was thanks largely to the session that India put together with its fast bowlers. Mohammad Shami, Varun, Aaron and Ishant Sharma got significant reverse swing, and when they were doing so, they managed to keep the ball in exactly the right areas. Well-set batsmen like David Warner struggled to get the ball going. And there was a passage of play when it was 2 runs and over, 3 runs and over, with the boundaries having dried up. It was only against the part-time spinners really that the batsmen were able to attack a bit more. India did really well in that session to control the scoring rate, and that's the only reason why Australia couldn't declare towards the end of the 4th day and have a crack at India.
Now, Anand, you're closest to the action, of course. Nathan Lyon got those 5 wickets in the first innings. Rohit Sharma not doing too badly in the few overs that he bowled. So certainly spinners have a role to play. What do you make of India's chances on that fifth day? Because clearly Lyon could be a bit of a threat. How big a threat do you think he's going to be?
There was significant purchase from the footmarks, and the bowlers have created footmarks quite generously by bowling around the stumps in the first innings. Nathan Lyon was a handful, but then he bowled exactly the kind of speed, the line and length that you need on this pitch. In fact, he was a bit unlucky. He ended up with 5, but he could have easily had more wickets than that on another day. The pitch is only going to get more difficult to bat on against the spinner on the final day, and India will have their work cut out for them. The only consolation for India is that Lyon is not exactly in the Shane Warne or Muthiah Muralidharan mold where he picks up wickets in clumps. Even with the assistance and him bowling very well, he had to bowl a lot of overs to pick up his 5 wickets in the first innings. India will have to hope that every time a partnership is broken, somebody else can step up and build another little partnership.
And Anand, also a few incidents on the 4th day after a lot of sportsmanship and upholding the spirit of the game on the first few days, obviously. But things starting to look like it is an Australia-India Test series after all.
Well, the one way of looking at it is that the most obvious result is a draw, but I suspect that that's not going to happen in this venue. It's a fast-scoring venue, and if India bat out 90 overs, assuming of course that Australia declare overnight, there's no reason why they shouldn't get very close to the target and have a dart at it if they have wickets in hand and are still around in the last session of the day. Flip it the other way, and Australian teams have always said over the years that if you can't bowl a team out on the final day, you don't deserve to win a test match. In this case, the conditions certainly helped their spinner, who's been bowling magnificently. So they will back themselves to go out and get those 10 wickets. In the first innings, India lasted a little over 112 overs, and they have now to play 98 in the second. It's obviously more difficult to play out a spinner in the final day of a test match, but India have the batsmen who can do it. All in all, I think we're going to be in for a very gripping day, and a lot will depend on how India's batsmen set things up in the first session of play.